When you come to bed, switch off the lights, will you? Turn off the lights on your way over here. But that's the only other context that you could use that phrase.
Good enough.
It looks great for TV.
Yeah.
And whatnot. Great. 5 minutes in, we're starting. We're not even starting, are we?
5 minutes in. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. No,
Is that when I said, yeah, let's start?
Well, I have to start all this stuff. It's like a I don't know. It's a process.
It's a process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we are in an advanced. Oh, you didn't turn the lights off.
Oh man.
Turn the lights off. Careful. Arizona is a wildly beautiful place, brimming with over 100 brewing companies. I'm Rob Fulmer, the Executive Director of the Arizona Craft Brewers Guild. I'm joined by Deputy Director Andrew Bauman. Together we cover the state, bringing you the best of what's happening at our breweries and beyond. Welcome to Arizona Beer Frontier. Yeah, the phone cameras look a little...
Phone cameras look a little dark, but that could just be the brightness of the phones. You want to try again?
Just turn the lights back on. No problem. Turn the lights back on. Something to work on.
This is what we do when we're trying out new things.
Yeah. Now it's hard to say, but it's all right. What I like is we can wear hats and not have shadows cast upon our faces.
That is a big deal.
Yeah.
True.
So we have some lights that we've been playing around with and camera placements and all that stuff, all to make a better produced show.
So nice.
So all that we can promise is that we are going to try to
constantly keep
update.
Improving.
Yeah. But failure happens.
True. Yeah.
So,
hey Rob,
Andrew Bauman.
How you doing today, man?
I'm good. We had a good day yesterday.
We had a great day yesterday.
We had a meeting with our peers, and we laid out why we're here, how we got here, and where we're going. Right.
You know what's funny is for us, we got there at 10 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And the meeting started at 1. There's 3 hours to get set. It felt like we were running for 3 hours straight. Like running fast, like in a race.
Yes.
To be ready in 3 hours. And then when we get there, we realize we only needed 2 more hours.
Yeah.
But that all of that we did.
We're trying to create a live, telecast or Zoom.
A quality streaming for our friends who can't make it to the meeting. Because if there's just one camera, which is what ended up happening, aimed at a crowd, it's not a very dynamic meeting environment for a viewer. And maybe that matters and maybe it doesn't, but it matters to me.
Yeah. Yeah. And for the Zoom viewers, they could see the PowerPoint, but in the tap room,
it didn't work out as well.
No.
Yeah, wild.
When you go to Zoom, it just pairs everything down and,
it was all distorted and wacky.
Yeah.
But it didn't matter.
No, I know. It's just, we bought that projector like 10 years ago, and the difference in technology now is marked. So we may have to fundraise for another projector. It's fine. It's fine. It's when we get back to conferences, that's fine for that environment. Those things won't be broadcast.
If you want to project movies on your garage door for Halloween,
yeah,
works great.
Borrowed that. No, I mean for PowerPoints, but it's always funny. Like we put up the financial numbers like, oh, good, they're really tiny. You can't read them. I'll have to read them for you.
Well, last year's, it looked like they were 5 digits, and this year's was only 4 for our total profit. Except what no one could see was the negative before the 5 digits on last year's.
Yeah.
So it was a market improvement, but it wasn't super evident. And I don't think anyone there really cared. And
no.
I don't think they should. Like it's up to us to manage the organization and the finances and make sure that we basically can pay ourselves and Camilla.
Yeah.
And that beyond that, they want to do whatever we can to promote Arizona beer. And we can do that with a very low budget.
Yeah.
But
so, well, I mean, we had a large treasury at one point, but we spent a lot of that on marketing.
And when you say one point, that's like 2017, 2016.
Yeah, that's when we made the big spend.
Yeah.
But essentially the organization's been operating with a, $1,000, waivers, $10,000 profit, $10,000 loss. It's mostly on paper because what I would say is we've always maintained every service that we've ever provided. We've maintained most of the events that we used to have. We brought some back. Some were just destined to not be winning ideas, but we brought back everything. We kept our staff fully engaged, and so we, as a advocacy organization, we had not had any detriment to our ability to advocate for our industry, and every service that we've been able to provide, we haven't changed. So expanding across the pandemic and all that other stuff, and facing challenges now with the same challenges that our breweries have: inflation, taking a cut out of any kind of profit that can be made at some of our events, which fund the organization. We face those things too: cost of goods, kind of things.
Realistically, though, all of this is not paid for by the guild. All of this is paid for by you.
The broadcast stuff, yes.
All of our travel is paid for by us, not the guild. We have some room to improve on our actual P&L because it's not super fair the way it's working, but also we do appreciate the freedom to be able to do these things. And that our members support us on it. Even if we're paying for it, we do have people that cheer us on and encourage us to do more. And I like that.
Yeah.
There's value in that to me as a person.
For anybody who was at our meeting, all the stuff that you saw, except for the PA system, are things that I have purchased. I don't. There were some things that you brought, cords, other cameras,
some cords, and some
cameras.
Whatever.
I mean, so that's all. That's as contractors, we're trying to provide information, and I feel like it's a trade-off for us.
Yeah.
But anyway, we met with our peers for our annual meeting. We made some bylaw changes. We're extending the terms of our current board so that we can elect officers in June, summer, so that when they are brought into the organization, they are starting on the next year's legislation from scratch and not brought in the middle of the process.
Well, also our bylaws previously had terms which were not defined. They were between 1 and 3 years, but not really defined who, why, or what those variations were.
Right.
Just said 1 to 3 years. So we...
Yeah, it's just the organization shall
have
have elections, and no word on how that's supposed to work, timing of that. But that's fine. The terms were a problem, and then we appointed, and we used a clause in our bylaws to say, all right, well, it says we can do it here, but now we've made that more explicit in how those terms conclude and how that process is understandable and clear. So that's a lot of inside baseball. Sir.
Yeah, great. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, who else is going to have a podcast about not beer, but this beer podcast.
That's right.
But
Speaking
yesterday,
of which, today I am drinking a 480G from the Beer Research Institute.
we'll do this.
Yeah.
I'm drinking a Vamanos from the same brewery, Beer Research Institute.
And we're drinking out of special Arizona Beer Day
Yeah.
shaker pint glasses today.
Yeah. So I don't remember what year this was. I was trying to figure that out.
It's probably 2016, 2017, same time we had all the money.
I can tell you if I looked it up without looking it up directly. We did it because I knew that, first of all, Repeal Day, right, is when the states ratified the 21st Amendment, canceling out the 18th Amendment. The 18th Amendment is prohibition. So there's that. And, you know, it's been loosely celebrated by breweries and so on and so forth. And there is a brewery in California called 21st Amendment, and they generally make a big to-do out of it. And I knew they were coming to Arizona, and I just was like, I don't want anyone to own that day except us. So
Yeah.
I renamed it Arizona Beer Day. We use Repeal Day and Arizona Beer Day interchangeably. I saw that brewery posted about Arizona Beer Day.
Awesome.
Unprompted by anything, because we have kind of sort of dropped it a little bit here and there.
Sure.
We haven't used it as a rallying point. We've used it as a rallying point when we had legislation pending, for sure. But anyway, I wanted to make sure that if they came, that they weren't the focus solely.
That 21st Amendment wasn't the focus when they came to Arizona, that
Right.
they owned this day. And
Right.
yeah,
So mission accomplished.
that brewery, they can do it all they want. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So anyway, that was the reasoning behind it, and I don't, I know Sean Sullivan a little bit,
Oh, I've shared a cab with him. Yeah. I remember that.
and I don't back in the day. This came up too.
I am a craft brewer.
I was part of the I Am A Homebrewer
Yes.
video, which
I
was
watched that the other day. It was incredible.
If you want to see a young Rob Fulmer without a beard as a homebrewer,
We should put it in.
yeah, maybe we will. It's kind of, anyway, it was a remake of the Craft Brewers Conference video that was put together by none other than Greg Cook from Stone, and had a bunch of other California breweries, because I think they did this in San Francisco that year.
And they said, I am a craft brewer.
Right. So we used some of the same lines, and like a lot of people liked it. There were some people who were adamantly making
Pissed.
fun of. They said that we stole it. I'm like, you don't understand the difference between an homage. I mean, it's very clear that we use the same pacing, the same. I think we even use the same music. So it was, but it got onto the Brewing Network, and they just tore into everybody. And I got into Justin.
That's too bad.
Over the years, we've talked through it. I'm like, hey, it's cool. Like at the time, I'm like, I don't care. But like, there are people who, like, it really was a negative thing for them, for you guys who are supposed to be on our side as homebrewers, to do that. And I think I was on their show once talking about it. But Sean was on. He was in the room goofing around with it, and I literally had the opportunity to go to. That was when I went to Oregon Brewers Festival.
Oh, cool.
And I just got in their faces about it. This is a weird time.
Why are you hassling us
I'm
about
like,
our video that we are doing an homage?
Right.
To
We're
craft
celebrating
brewing?
you.
Yes.
And there was another one, I Am a Craft Beer Drinker. And
Great.
I was actually in Chicago when they filmed it. And I watched Sarah Husker do her segment with some other folks. I can't remember where it was, but it was in Chicago.
We should do something like that.
I'm having trauma.
Like tour our breweries and not do exactly the same thing, but something that highlights different breweries and their passions.
People have done, with the Brewers Association, they've done, they did this Pass the Pint thing, which I thought was pretty clever.
Yeah.
I mean, we could do something like that for sure.
Yeah.
You just add another thing on our
giant
my
list
video
of
production.
things we want to do.
No, it's fine. I like doing this kind of things. They're fun. But that's a long way of saying that there was a lot of things going on, and it wasn't revenge, Sean, It was just, hey, I'm the director here, Arizona Beer Day. I justified it in that most people don't know that Arizona had prohibition 5 years before national prohibition, 1915. So
such bullshit.
Yeah. So, and here's the thing. It doesn't square with our understanding of Arizona history. Like, the Wild West, everything goes. I mean, like literally people shooting people in the streets. Like, why would we?
Except you can't serve beer legally.
Yeah. Let me drink this first. But here's the thing. There are parallels to prohibition in a lot of things that we do. I have those. There are parallels in a lot of things that we see.
Oh, there's a lot of pushing towards prohibitionist tendencies in this country right now. We talked about this before, and that was a long time ago. We talked about it.
Yeah,
it hasn't stopped.
So a couple years ago, I wrote something every year. I didn't read anything this year. I was at that meeting, and we talked, and we toasted, and we used it to discuss our issues. But in general, I'll list what prohibition does, and then we can draw inferences about things that are going on now. It's a populist movement, meaning that it's a dedicated coalition of very hyper fervent people that go against the grain. It outlaws the supply of something, not the demand for it. Once it's in place, it favors people outside of the law profiting, taking advantage of now something that has a huge demand still. The demand isn't quelled. It makes regular people, gives them an illegal status, criminalizes behavior that they once did. It doesn't matter if it's a drop or gallons and gallons and or dealing in alcohol. It diverts law enforcement resources to something that again was once legal, and it always fails. So you can draw conclusions to any populist movement where the goal isn't to win over everybody or to do the things that everybody likes. It's really to split people, 49-51 or some figure like that. Because
I feel like it's even less than that.
Well, yeah.
There's enough inaction that you can get a small group very active and things can happen that most people don't want.
Right. As it pertains to alcohol, there are people on the far right who have disavowed alcohol and to make them stronger, more American, all this self-reliance, bootstrap, thing. And then the far left, it's like, hey, we need to solve every social
issue,
ill
problem ever
on behalf of everybody. So it plays into that, and we should all resist it. And without getting into a lot of political issues, it's being used for abortion. It's being used for trans rights. It's being used for any number of issues. It's like if
book
things,
burning, buddy.
Yeah, if things are put into the culture wars category, you can count me out of that. I know what the goal is. The goal is to divide people so that on this one issue you have a razor thin advantage at best or at worst, but enough to push the rest of your agenda. And we're smart enough people not to fall for that, I hope. Anyway, that's
all right.
Off my soapbox.
Yeah, for now.
It's Arizona Beer Day yesterday and to ones in the future.
Hooray. So exciting.
I should say that the views expressed on this program are our own.
Are those of the hosts. Although, as we always maintain, if we go too far off the tracks, we can definitely get fired.
What that edge is, I don't know.
Well, we know that people listen because people come up to us and tell us that they listen, which is so weird.
I know. It's like, you don't have to whisper. No, I don't know. I feel I appreciate it when people do. But we had our meeting. We stuck around there for quite a while.
We talked about Pint Day.
Oh, yeah.
Not to belabor the issue because we discussed it on the last podcast or the one before, but we had a very big outpouring of support for that program from the people in that room.
Yes.
Which is really cool.
Yes.
We will be moving forward on that, and keep your eyes open because it's going to happen.
Yeah. I don't know when. There's some debate about that. We'll just leave it at that. I guess
We'll leave it at that.
If we're talking about the meeting still, we did a little state of the state in terms of closures, openings, M&A, and we put it on paper. It looked a little brighter. I think it encouraged a lot of people.
And let's do it right now.
No, I don't have that in memory. Do you have that in memory?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So we have,
ladies and gentlemen, Andrew with the memory.
For one thing, we have we're talking closures, openings, and breweries and planning. That's the essential discussion. We had one closure that was a straight closure. That is Lonesome Valley Brewing in Prescott Valley.
Okay. Yeah, that's true.
And there's a medical issue with.
Yeah, one of the owner has had a medical condition and that's contributed to.
It's hard
for closure.
So it was hard for him to run that plus his other businesses, and that's the one that lost it. So that was our straight up closure so far this year.
That's all you remembered?
Yeah.
I was really counting on you.
Shut up, Rob. Helton Brewing Company was purchased by Oso.
Right.
We had Flying Basset that closed, and the Perch purchased it and has reopened it as Perch number 2.
So far, none of the brand names are transferring.
Yes.
It's just the facilities.
Right.
Okay.
And now we get to Dillinger.
Okay.
Is there someone else?
There was somebody else, I think. But Dillinger, go on.
Yeah, Dillinger was the assets were purchased by, the physical assets were purchased by Serial Grillers Group, who is creating Mosaic Brewing Company for now. And the IP assets were purchased by Borderlands Brewing Company.
Right.
So that happened. I don't know what happened with Brill Mead Co. that was inside there. It looks a little dicey right now. They were doing the alternating proprietorship.
Oh, yeah. I have no idea how that's going to manifest.
Doesn't look good.
Okay. There was one more in there. I don't remember what it was. But what about openings? Screwbean in Tucson?
Screwbean in Tucson.
I don't think we put 100 Mile, but somewhere they fell in the crack there.
That was December of last year.
Okay. Yeah, so a year. I mean, I guess. Not in
2023.
Not in 2023.
Now I forget everything.
Yeah, see.
So pull up the slide. Come on.
It's on my other computer.
Oh. What? It's not in the cloud?
No, I didn't put it in the cloud. I didn't have time. I was literally editing in real time during the meeting, so.
All right.
So we'll just do an edit break, not a real break.
Okay, so we have Flying Basset. That became the Perch 2, and that's open now. And what other one?
Ad Astra became Catalyst.
Ad Astra. Moved their organization down to Tempe from Prescott.
Yes.
So, I mean, you could say that was a closure and a new opening.
I just put it under M&A.
But it's the same, M&A, yeah.
They changed licenses. So, openings, High Tanks.
High Tanks.
How did you forget High
In
Tanks?
Dateland, Arizona.
New members. How are we going to get
Naked Dates Company.
How are we going to get our sign down there? Or when are we going to get there? I know how.
I mean,
You and I are getting in a vehicle and driving,
yeah.
which is great. Yeah, we need to take care of that.
That's going to be so fun.
All right. Goal for before the end of the year,
Yeah. Oh,
before Christmas.
I don't know about that. There's not a lot of time between then and now. And you have Austin and we have Flagstaff and That only leaves a week, and then the week between, I don't know, Ming. I know that my wife has to work the week between Christmas and
Well, we're
New
not
Year's, so-
staying the night in Dateland.
Why?
I don't know.
Then we could go see Chris over in Prison Hill.
Sometimes it can just be one thing.
No, never. Okay.
Phantom Fox
Phantom Fox opened in
Mesa.
downtown Mesa.
in the building that once housed Desert Eagle. You will not recognize a single thing.
It's a completely new brew system. It's a completely new bar.
It's a full gut.
Yeah.
If you're familiar with the floor drains, then
Yes.
maybe that.
Then you might be like, oh, I remember that. That's it. The drains are the same.
Yeah.
And our breweries in planning are numerous.
Yes.
Very numerous. So people who say craft beer is dead haven't talked to these people.
Right, and you don't go out of your way to talk to these people. We encourage them now. Chico Brewing in
Phoenix. Yeah.
My understanding is it's in the Row area. I spoke to one of the people involved who did not want to talk about it
Too much.
at that point. So I talked to him at Barrels, Bottles, and Brews. So
That's going.
for those that say, well, I can get all these beers, you couldn't have had that discussion with this
Right.
startup guy. I'm very excited about that.
We had yesterday at the meeting, Wyatt from Pinnacle Brewing Company,
Right,
which is on Hayden Road in Scottsdale, North Scottsdale.
right.
He was there. They are well underway with construction right now.
Yes, he said they might be brewing in as early as February for a March opening.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's something that I don't
That's
think
a whole
anyone.
family
Yeah.
that's raising this new brewery too. That is the essence of Arizona craft beer. Families getting together and friends getting together and creating a new business, and it's pretty cool.
Yes. There was a bunch in Tucson. 1, 2, 3, 4, something like that. Barton.
Barton Brewing.
Nobody in the room had any information on that. Where did you get this information?
These are from people that went to join the guild web, like our link.
Oh, okay. Okay.
On our website, there is a join the guild. They fill out some information. I reach out, and generally, I never hear back from them again.
Yeah, you can find that. You can, if you want to fill out a form and never talk to us again after we contact you back. The form is on.
Yes, right on
ChooseAZBrews.com. And I think it's /join.
Oh, no, that's
guild.
just a link. It
Or
says
join.
Join us. And then you click it, and there's a link, and you can go there.
Barton.
Barton Brewing.
We have no information other than the sign up.
Right,
You've reached out and we haven't not heard back yet.
I think.
Okay. Slow Body.
Slow Body. And Jeremy DiConcini was familiar with them.
And
That's a brewery in planning.
that's it.
about it, yeah.
All right.
I had a little back and forth. When we did a couple trips down to Tucson, I reached out again and said, hey, we're coming to town, want to get together? And didn't hear back. But, most of these people are already working a job.
Yeah.
And this is their passion to open their own business and do their new own thing.
Oh, so I do know about this one. This is just around the corner from Barrio.
Yes.
In a former meat packing warehouse of some sort. So they have a website.
Yeah.
Maybe if I put my email in here, I'll be in the loop.
I join as many brewery newsletters as I possibly can to try and keep up on stuff. And there's not a ton of breweries that have newsletters that are regularly put out, like a weekly or bi-weekly newsletter. Ones that do are Pedal House, Arizona Wilderness, Bone House. I get Beer Research Institute when they put one out. I get Santan, but I think that comes to my personal email box, and I need to change that over to work. Not a ton. Yeah.
Arroyo
Maybe
Chico.
Arroyo Chico.
Sorry.
And then we also have Unicorn Zebra.
Arroyo Chico. That equipment looks familiar. That looks like 1055's stuff, doesn't it?
Their original place?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's not their building.
No.
So Arroyo Chico. We have Chico and Arroyo Chico. I hope that
Chico in Phoenix, Arroyo Chico in Tucson.
I hope that can be worked out. Unicorn Zebra.
Apparently, Jeremy knows these people too. These I have not spoken to.
And this is also in Tucson.
We said, does he work for Hill Farmstead? Is that what I heard? I think this is the one where they said.
Well, they have coasters.
Oh, yeah.
Oop, site cannot be reached.
Whoop.
They filed a trademark on something. Yeah. Website's down. Oh, wait. Well, that's because their link is weird.
We've got dead air.
Yeah.
So that's another one. Then we can flip back up to Phoenix now, right?
Wickenburg.
Vulture Peak is, man, he is working. He is just trugging along. He's got that building, done some work on the inside. He is waiting for utilities to be delivered.
Yes. This is a thing that that we've noticed with anybody who requires a phase change in their power or an upgrade or a lot of times this sounds completely like illegal to do, but this is a common thing. Like, oh, you need this. We've been waiting for someone to open a new business so we can upgrade this entire
complex. Yeah, and you're going to pay for all of it.
Pretty much.
Yep. I remember when we opened the Perch that Rebecca had to purchase a transformer to put at the top of the pole to get power to our location. And it was like $28,000 for that transformer that she had to buy to put at the top of a pole. The utility company wasn't going to do it. They're like, it's fine.
Yeah.
That doesn't even count all the box cabinets, whatever, like 3 giant circuit breaker cabinets. Yeah, wild.
Yeah, so I
know that Matt at BRI had that problem too in downtown Mesa.
Oh yeah, he did, and he also had issues with sprinkler systems and water pressure.
Yeah, and that's just for a retail location. That's not even a brewery.
Yeah.
Wow.
One of our business owners, I don't know if they're ready to talk about it publicly, but like signed up for power
2
years ago
and got it delivered last weekend.
Right. So they've been ready to open for a couple months easily.
Oh no. Last March or April.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So these things are reasons why breweries are having a difficult time scaling up when they...
Our friends at Oso.
Oh, yeah.
They've been ready to open for 4 months.
Yeah.
John told me, if I had power today, I could open in a week.
Yeah. And so far, we haven't been asked by these business owners to intercede on their behalf, and I understand why. Our corporation commission and the utilities are almost one and the same thing. And it's run by a board who coincidentally seem to get a lot of money from some of these organizations. They seem to, in understanding the discussions between business owners and the utilities, and this is secondhand, but it seems like they're very punitive. Like if you start muddying the water, if you bring in an outside politician, your local representative, they
shut it down even harder.
Yeah.
Or if you're just a regular person who wants to get solar on their roof. Oh, I'm going off topic. Yes, you get very much penalized by the utility company. You can't make power. We're the power people. Oh, God damn it, I did it again.
Moving on.
Other new breweries.
Brown Bag
taking over the former Prescott Brewing Company space.
Yeah.
We've got friends that are working on that.
Yes.
They are definitely under construction.
Yes. I poked my nose at the window and looked and could see the tap room, and it's a full gut, and there's not a lot going on. I don't know. That doesn't mean anything. You can knock that stuff out pretty quickly, and I'm assuming that they're not going to have the same power issues that we just talked about because there's been a brewery in there for many years.
But and depending on what kind of brewery they're either using the same equipment. We don't know a lot, but it is definitely moving forward.
Yes. We don't know much about Four Silos. I know that they have had a permit open for a long time, and I know that their agent has told the people involved to contact us. I haven't heard from them. We'll just leave it at that. And then
I've reached out several times and just haven't got anything back. I reached out to info at. There was someone I talked to who is no longer with the company. And that happens, like,
hey, what was that brewery in Overgard that was doing distilling and
260 Distillery.
Yeah, what's their status?
They're open.
Okay. We just need to drive in our cars and
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
And then I saved the
Oh, that's a new one for the open.
Yeah.
It's legit open brewery that we didn't have on the screen.
Yeah. Sometimes it happens.
Shame on us.
Friendship Village.
Friendship Village.
You are very excited about this.
Super excited.
Okay. Go. Say
Friendship
it.
Village in
Tell it.
Tempe is an assisted living facility. It is a retirement home with varying degrees of care for their residents, from just a straight up apartment to you need help bathing and getting yourself to dinner every night. All the stuff.
I need help bathing and getting dinner sometimes.
Well, you just need encouragement. 700 units at this place, and they built a brand new building with a fancy restaurant and brewery at the top of the building. Rooftop patio with brewery. We've seen the virtual renderings. We haven't actually seen it, but the company that built it was very excited. 2 weeks ago, they said, look what we did. We finally finished the project. It's delivered, and we are good to go. And did like this virtual walkthrough. So that was cool. They are looking for a head brewer for that facility.
Okay. I saw there was a posting and then it was taken down, so maybe they are through part of that process already.
Yeah. I reached out and said, hey, just
Right.
would love to talk to you, see if I can provide any support or assistance, and looking forward to hearing back. That's a common theme.
Yeah. So that was the state of the state.
But we missed Desert Hills Brewing Company in Cave Creek.
Cave Creek.
Is that the same thing?
I don't know. There's a number of people who tell
new
us
to
they're
Arizona.
they're gonna open up. No, they're two different cities for sure.
Okay. They're next to each other, way up at the top.
Separated by like 15 minutes or so.
Oh my God, that's far. Okay.
15.
That's still
not 50.
That's still space. Okay.
Yeah.
So Desert Hills Brewing Company opening in Cave Creek, Arizona at some point. But there were several people that said, oh, have you talked to him? Have you talked to him? I haven't. So if that's you, please.
We've been around for 25 years. We have had the same P.O. box for that. We've had a phone number here for a long time. We're on the web. People can reach out to us.
Yeah.
So
The more we know, the more we can help. And our members want to know.
Right.
Only for altruistic reasons.
Yeah.
We are excited for new breweries to be coming into the scene, and we love to help you, love to support you.
Why would you want to make the same mistakes that other people have made that we can sort of tell you what the pitfalls are? Or in the very meeting, we had people saying, hey, I got this equipment. I've got these hops.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it might be right in your town. Like, hey, this is exactly what we're looking for. Even if it's not, talk to them. Maybe they have something else that they're not talking about parting with, but maybe in this industry, people have traded bigger tanks for smaller, just straight up trade because it didn't make sense.
I did that.
Yeah. Tell it.
Oh, well, when we were opening the new Uncle Bear's Brewery, we had 20 barrel fermenters, and we really didn't need them. We had a new 30 barrel system. We had 30, 60, and 120 barrel fermenters, 90. Yeah, I forget. It's been a while. Not that long. And then, but we wanted to do some experimental, like side stream some of our wort over to a different tank so we could do fruited or different yeast or whatever. And 1912 Brewing had 3 barrel fermenters, but needed some more capacity. So
Right.
we traded the 3 barrel for the 20 barrel.
Straight up.
Yeah.
And what would be the approximate price difference on the two items?
Well, ours were old.
I mean,
Theirs were newer.
okay,
Well, there's not a price difference if it's what you need. You have to pay what you need.
fair enough. But most people would assume, and I would assume, that the larger would be more expensive, even used, because there's not a lot of wear and tear, right? It's just fittings.
I mean, it's
is
older
there,
technology.
Is there new tank smell?
It's older technology, honestly. Like you have different fittings because from the time that was made to now, like there's only a small port on the top. It's really hard to dry hop because that wasn't a thing when that was built. And other stuff.
Ports matter.
And jackets matter. And,
Jackets matter.
maybe there's not a sample port on it.
Okay.
But now they all come with sample ports. Back then they were like, just make beer.
See,
Yeah.
I'm learning things.
There's differences, yeah.
But nevertheless,
Yeah, it was great. It worked out for everybody. And Alan drove it up, put ours on his trailer, and drove it all the way back
that's
down.
even more special. 'Cause, you're trading down, and everything just works out because you made a phone call. Great.
Hence, a great reason to get to know your fellow brewers, no matter how long you've been in the business, brand new or been in it for 20 years. Those contacts always make a big difference. I remember when I was trying to figure out how hop contracts work, and I went over to Phoenix Beer Co. because I just happened to go there. It was on the way back from my catering job back in the day, and Zach took time to talk to me about how contracts work and give me some contacts on people to work with, and yeah, it's pretty great.
Is that your phone?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's in my pocket. It's also buzzing.
Oh,
Yeah.
Special.
Lucky me.
Hey, we're done with the meeting. We're not talking about the meeting.
All right,
anymore,
meeting's
right?
over.
Right?
What is this? Uh-oh. I don't know who that was. Oh, Josh from Ranch Hand. I'll get back to him.
Okay. I'm just saying, like, that's what we should be able to talk about at the meeting. We're done. There was other things, but I want to talk about.
Oh, man, that went way longer. We were going to have a half-hour
I
podcast.
know.
We're already way past that.
Yeah, we're at 43 minutes. I wanted to talk about, we decided after having all the camaraderie and a couple beers, we were hungry. Usually when I go to Kitsune, that's where the meeting was. I don't think we discussed that. I go to Lupita's, which is a Sonoran hot dog place. I was there the night before because I was setting up stuff.
It's a neighborhood favorite.
I can't have another Sonoran hot dog. I know that's just something I'm publicly admitting.
I mean, if you say, look, I have a limit of 2 hot dogs a week, that's not unreasonable.
It's not even that. It's just can't do day after day. So you recommended Paradise Valley Burger. And
I did.
I was like, hey, well, oddly, they put one in Tempe and I don't know anything about it. And then our Maddie
from
our Kitsune bartender, beer tender, server, said, oh, that's one of the Guy Fieri diners, dives, and
Diners, drive-ins, and dives.
dives. Okay. And I'm like, well, that doesn't sell me one way or the other necessarily.
I don't know. It got a little bit of coverage. It's fine.
Yeah.
We were going there either way.
Yeah.
And I don't know anything about it. I just
Right.
looked on my phone and said, where should we go? Oh, burgers. I want a burger. Yes.
Yeah. So
And I don't want a McDonald's burger.
we went there. They had straight up burgers, but they had some definitely. They're known for doing crazy things with their burgers.
Wacky. Whoa.
Yeah, I had the 5 pepper, the Cinco Diablo. So I guess there were 5 peppers, and one of them was a deep fried poblano.
Chileriano. You had a Chileriano smashed right on top of your burger there.
It was good, but I had to press it down. Like,
Yeah.
there's a reason why you see I call him like Guy, whatever, Fiero, forget about it. I can't, Fieri?
Guy Fieri.
He's like, stuff it. And I'm like, you got to just smash that thing down. My burger was like that high.
It was huge.
And
huge.
I'll have a picture of that. I don't think you took a picture of your burger. What did you had the country?
I did not take a picture of her.
What did you have?
Mine was also
you had the beach.
Spicy.
How it's beach?
Yeah, I mean it was like
sandy?
Jalapenos and
Tasted like a wet blanket. What?
It was delicious. It had pico, it had jalapeno, it had a tequila infused poblano.
Sure.
Like they soak the peppers in tequila. I guess that's kind of their shtick. It was good. It was great, actually. Great.
So they don't have beer there.
Right.
And so I'm still a little fuzzy on how like all of a sudden you were like, we're going next door to.
Well, I thought to myself, hey, look,
Yeah.
it's going to take 10 minutes at least for them to get the burgers ready.
It does take a while because it's cooked fresh.
Yeah.
There is a lot when you see the burger and if you look at videos, it takes a while because they're all hand.
And those fries were banging.
Yeah. Go on.
It's not easy to make great fries.
So you knew there was going to be a lull.
I knew there was going to be a wait.
Yeah.
And I thought I'll just go next door to the liquor store.
Right.
Get a can of beer.
Yeah.
Come back. We'll have beers with our burgers.
Right.
So I mentioned this to our very kind server behind, like someone who's just standing behind a counter taking orders. My God.
Yeah.
She was passionate about their product.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah.
And she was like, no, you can't do that. You have to go over to our pizza place 2 doors down.
Yeah.
And they have a BYOB license. Are we going to get into that?
Yeah, a little bit. It's not a license.
Registration. BYOB. She said license. He said license. They all think it's a license. It's a registration. A registration that says,
I have fewer than 25 seats or something like that.
I am not going to sell alcohol.
Right.
But I do acknowledge people are going to bring it in.
Right.
Some reason I was going to say state department. That's what I was going to say for sure. State, not stupid. I was going to say state. Department of Liquor License Control wants people to register if they're not selling alcohol, which I don't understand.
Yeah.
Can you help me or am I just...
I don't know that that's something invented. I think that was put in place as a restriction by people who have the licenses to sell beer, wine, spirits. I think that was like, hey, this is going to get out of control.
That people are not selling alcohol, but other people are bringing alcohol into the door of a burger place.
I don't know. Hey, it's
mad. It makes
I don't
me
know.
so mad.
I don't know what it solves. Anyway.
Yep.
I was just struck how bizarre this is because we're on 40th Street in Bell.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is
is this Paradise Valley?
Well, it's not. It's Phoenix.
Okay.
It's Phoenix, but it's called
all of Paradise Valley is Phoenix.
Yeah, but I don't know.
It's weird.
No, I think it's a village. I think they have a
Ahwatukee's a village. It's still a Phoenix address.
But Phoenix doesn't have robot cars with speed traps. Paradise Valley does. They have the vans by the side of the road they are notorious for speeding. That is a local function
Very good
of
point.
some constabulary or whatever.
That's a very good point.
Anyway.
I think you're right.
I was like, this pizza place, very similar menu as you.
Yeah.
They share some item ideas.
Absolutely.
Pizza by the slice, which is not something. This is not. Maybe I'm wrong. This is not. I usually see pizza by the slice in like more of a walk-up kind of environment, like on a college area or something where there's foot traffic. Pizza by the slice. I'm a big fan of pizza by the slice. Like that tells me that things are going on here, and I don't have to commit to sitting down and spending a bunch of time at a place. I'm just gonna get a slice, quick slice. So I was like, Andrew, this is like the most Bourbon Street area of Phoenix that I can remember.
Grab that beer, walk on over to the pizza place. They'll bring your burger from the burger place to the pizza place.
Because the liquor store or what is it? Beer? I don't know what it was. It was a smoke shop, right?
It was a liquor store. Liquor store. But man, did they have a lot of vapes.
And you walk down this corridor
of plexiglass.
And there's like surgical lighting. It's so bright in there.
He walked in and said, "Can you turn the lights up a little bit?" And the dude behind the counter, I was walking by the little space and he started laughing.
It's there's just these plastic cases of just like vaping products. And I said, "Hey, Andrew, there's a marijuana knife. Like there's a pocket knife with marijuana leaves. Like if you get stabbed, but I'm kind of mellow too. See, I'm into the weed, man, but you must die." It's so lit up, and we walk down this corridor, and then you get to the beer coolers, and almost everything is 24 ounce, 22 ounce, 19.2, single serve, and
we ended up with 16 ounce Sierra Nevada.
Yeah, way off in the little corner.
Definitely off in the corner.
Like I don't even think it was a shelf. The shelf ended, but it could be placed there and leaned up against the wall. So it wasn't even a shelf spot. I grabbed a couple of Sierra Nevada Pale Ales.
Thank you for buying the beer that I threw out.
I put one back. I put one back because the first one was warmer than the ones in the back. You drank some of it.
I did. It was good.
Yeah. So we walked those over
to the pizza place.
Confirmed, just so we're not dicks. Like, hey, party on. Like, talk to the guy there.
Yeah. And he was nice too.
It was totally nice.
They all seemed like they cared about their jobs so much, which is cool.
I wasn't really interested in, and then I saw them making the pizza. I'm always fascinated by that. And then I saw that they were selling slices. I talked to them a little bit. And you mentioned that there was cannolis, but they were Oreo cannolis or
Fruit Loops.
Lucky Charms. Lucky Charms. So I got a Lucky Charm. I haven't eaten it yet. I just brought it home. Eat that tonight.
I want a review.
Well, it's a cannoli with Lucky Charms.
All right.
He was very diplomatic. I said, which one's better? He's like, he wouldn't even tell me which more people order. I was like, he's like, if it depends on if you like Fruit Loops or Lucky Charms. Like, okay.
And they told you about the filling, right?
Oh. No? Why? What's about
well, they have ice cream too.
Oh, they have ice cream. Yeah. I could have got a scoop of Lucky Charms ice cream.
Okay.
But then I
got
couldn't.
It now.
Then I couldn't. I'd have to eat it then.
I wasn't with you. I was over there, and I kind of was hearing.
Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it was cool. I was. Most impressive thing for me was how much those employees cared about those businesses, which generally you'd think, like, it's a throwaway job. It is like
it's kind of a divey little strip mall too.
It's not high end. It's pretty.
I mean,
they were very trained, I guess. They had good training because they knew all about their products.
Yeah.
And that just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
It was cool. I might go back just for that. Or when I go to Kitsune, come down. And remember, it's Kitsune, not Kitsune, okay?
I know that.
I know, that was me.
Did I say it wrong?
No, I do.
I might have. I mean,
I'm not anymore, but I did.
There's
next?
also one of these opening or is open on Baseline.
Oh, I need the combo. I need the burger pizza combo. You're not going to get that.
I don't know.
Else.
Maybe it's all folded in. I have no idea. I just noticed. I don't know. Yeah, we got a couple minutes. We got to go through.
We need to move on.
Ash holiday party.
Ash holiday party.
Yeah,
that was fun.
Okay, moving on. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, such a dick. Ash put a lot of time and effort into making their clubhouse very cool.
Yes. And talking to them, they don't want everybody to know where it is. So just so you know. But it is behind.
Okay.
It is in Tempe. It is behind it's in a warehouse behind a business. It's integrated with the business. We could say that.
They have, so a business owner owns a few warehouses and said, I'm into homebrew, have this space.
Yeah.
Like there's amount of rent, but it's inconsequential and allowed them to just like do a whole ton of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it looks awesome. And it's such a cool place to just hang out.
So it used to be some sort of food bank. And that's
it looked like maybe a preschool on it almost.
Well, I think they provided services and each of those areas was devoted. They had several rooms and some of the rooms were devoted to whatever, like I've worked at a community center before. It's not uncommon. Like people come there for their groceries, and then they say, "Hey, do your kids want to be part of this program?" And in the meantime, there's a play area, so they're out of the picture, being looked after while they go through whatever paperwork they have to go through. So it was set up that way. They've taken out some of the rooms. They've created a lounge area. They've always had this other area for their meetings. Mm-hmm. So they have a kitchenette, a galley kitchen, and it's mostly designed to clean kegs and do homebrewing stuff.
Big mop sink, triple sink. They have an office across the way.
They have a 12 tap configuration on kegerator, and they have a storage room full of a lot of homebrewing equipment, which they are selling at a really nice price. If you're into the hobby, join them and enjoy that benefit.
They also are creating a barrel room.
Yes. It's got a window. So you can stare at fermentation in slow motion.
Even slower motion than normal.
Right. We have a storage area there that we rent from them. They're looking to raise some money for an air conditioner, which I think is really important. And they're not that far along, but they're going to come up with some sort of campaign, and we may, as an organization, figure out how we can support that fundraising effort and make personal and contributions through our organization.
Homebrewing is so important to craft beer.
It is.
And I know that a lot of people that own breweries in Arizona have come from homebrewing into their new professional career. And you get so busy and you get so in the weeds a lot of the time that you I can't deal with that. And I feel fortunate that in my position now, I do have that opportunity to remember the connection between homebrewing and craft beer. And innovation oftentimes comes from that homebrewing side and goes into craft beer. And not that craft beer can't innovate themselves, but it happens a lot. And you see things that you go, how can that happen? And they just do it because there's no commercial incentive to fail.
Right.
If you fail, you don't lose your house, right? I made a crappy beer. Oh,
unless you are cooking with a propane burner inside your house, you may lose your house.
While frying a turkey.
The only way to fail as a homebrewer is to quit.
So, homebrewers are so important to this industry, and they have this deep interest in craft beer judging as well, and homebrew judging, and they know so much about that stuff where, like I said, craft brewers just get so busy with their day-to-day operations that they can't do it. But homebrewers, because it's a hobby and they have their regular job, and this is what they do for enjoyment, not necessarily fun. They have there's different things.
You draw a line between fun and enjoyment?
Yeah, I like judging beer. It's work. It's hard. It's not fun, but I enjoy it.
Okay. That's great.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah. So that is why homebrew is important to our industry.
Wow. All right, we've got a couple minutes left. We want to talk about Spin the Bottle, a beer and wine store under the convenience store license, number 10 if you're a student of licenses. It is not a quota license. You can buy as many as...
Right. It's a regular license, not a quota license.
Right.
Non-quota?
Well, I mean, it's not like...
a bar license.
Bar license or wine and beer bar, that there can only be so many in a county.
There can only be.
No, you can't. You will get pushback if the town that you're putting it in says that there's too many of these. You can get pushback that way. I'm just saying it's not a quota license. It is a beer wine store in downtown Chandler. You have visited it. The other thing of note is it is a joint venture with family members and our general counsel, Camila Alarcon.
So Camila and her sister-in-law, Marfa, had this located inside Mingle and Gray's cheese store.
They do charcuterie, but cheese.
There's a better name for it, but Mingle and Gray's in downtown
Cheesemonger?
Everyone knows Mingle and Gray's, I hope, because it's great. And they had this inside. They decided to open it as a separate venture. And it's in downtown Chandler next to Back Alley Barbecue within spitting distance of Pedal House Brewing Company.
Featuring Arizona beers and wines.
All Arizona beers and wines from around the world, including Arizona wines. But
Right.
yeah.
Right.
And then a lot of educational material, and they've got books. And of course, they've got wine service things, glasses, carafes, things.
I'm excited. It's going to give us insight into how that piece of our industry works.
Yeah.
And we have somebody who's going to be, she's already knowledgeable in all
and a
things
huge
alcohol.
advocate for our
Right.
members. Yeah.
But we'll find out what the wrinkles are to that and maybe get some insights on how to market our products better to those kinds of stores.
Right.
Find what the opportunities are.
Sure.
A lot of them exist. The one that we talked about, like with all the vaping products, but they don't do sampling, I'm imagining.
No, she does have a 10S, which allows sampling. So she
Right.
can sample 1.5 ounces of wine or up to 16 ounces of beer for educational events.
Yes.
So she can just have one bottle and be like, oh, everyone try this today, try this today, try this today. But she has to give education on that. And if you were doing a larger educational format event, you can have multiple. And that's pretty fun. So flights, essentially.
Right.
If a glass of wine is 4 ounces and you can only sample 1.5 ounces, that's a pretty nice flight to put together.
Yes. Well, we're excited for that. And
Absolutely.
I haven't had a chance to go. I'll try to see if I can work into my plans, when we're not going to
Here,
Dateland.
and there, and the other place, right? This weekend, Saturday, is Fire and Fury's 2-year anniversary. Saturday.
It is.
That is one that they emailed me and said, hey,
I know.
our anniversary is Saturday.
And
could you please come? And I was like, yes, I am going to be there.
You're not going to be there.
Yeah. What do you mean, no?
It's this weekend.
Yeah, this weekend, the 6th.
Oh, yeah. So, all right. So I might have to go to Ash Fork. I'll just wait to see if it happens. Either it's going to happen then, or I'm going to have to interrupt our Flagstaff thing. I have to go to a funeral.
Oh,
It's
gross.
in 2 different places, and I don't know which one I'm going to go to. So,
All right. Well, I know nothing about this, but
it will be conversation for one of our follow-on podcasts. We do have a guest coming in, maybe 2,
yeah.
tomorrow to record another podcast.
Yeah.
It is Craig Miller from Arizona Arizona Liquor Industry Consultants.
Yeah.
Craig is a former DLLC agent, and so
Meaning cop. He used to be a cop.
yeah. We'll just get an update from him on what he's got going on, and
It's going to be fun.
What was the thing? I said, hey,
He's
we can
a fun
ask
dude.
Craig
All
about
kinds of tell us about the crazy stuff you've seen, and that's going to happen. And then we also have
There was a very specific question that we formulated yesterday. We'll just put a pin in that so we
All
can
right.
get back to that offline. So we have him, and I will be on Monday going to Austin to deliver our World Series.
you
Lost
said 2
beers.
people, but then you talked about one. The other one is Jeremy DiConcini from Mona Sonora is excited to do a podcast with us at sometime in the near future.
Right. I don't think he was going to come on Thursday.
No, he's not coming this week, but Teddy,
Yeah. We might have
some point,
Ted Golden.
he's going to be on at some point.
Right. Okay. Monday.
He's kind of shy though.
I don't want to build up anything if it doesn't happen.
If you know Teddy,
He's not
encourage
shy.
him. He is. He's super shy.
I'm going to Austin to deliver World Series lost beers. I am also going to shepherd over
Thank you.
Phoenix Magazine's beers because they had a bet with Dallas Magazine. So somehow I have to get them from Austin to Dallas. I don't think that's going to be a huge problem. There's a vast network of breweries that are consolidated under a unifying organization called the Texas Craft Brewers Guild.
I've heard of
Not
this.
sure if you understand how that works. So
vast network
it's a
of
network.
breweries.
It's a consolidation. I don't know what else to call it. It's
Nice.
yeah, totally. Charitable organization.
Yeah.
No, it's a nonprofit. It's so that's going to happen. But for now, I think we just need to wrap this up.
Yeah,
because
we should definitely
have to-
wrap this up.
I have to edit this, and I'm going to say no equipment failures today.
Holy macaroni.
You could say
We
balls.
didn't even talk about the video.
Oh, I know.
We'll do it as a bonus. All right, cheers.
Cheers, man.
It's not a beer podcast. It's a podcast about beer.
Yeah, thank you for that.